Hello, this is Rebirth of Legend doing another replay analysis. This is going to be for user Fishinev on Online Dota 2. In this game, he is playing a Doombringer. And let's see, this game, I played Doom in this game and went out of control in my lane and steamrolled the team. SF had the audacity to blame me for losing my lane, even though his stacked friend fed twice at the start of the game to an AM, then TP'd bot when he realized it was whatever. SS prioritizes Ags over my support items. Okay, so and then your last line is and yes, I know I should have prioritized level depth over devour. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. No, you should pretty much always go 4-4-0. You don't really need level depth. Let me fix the volume on this first before I forget. So, like, level depth, you get a huge amount of damage just from having Scorched Earth leveled, and your Devour is what lets you farm. You definitely want those two max first, and like the level death mana cost is really, really high. So you can't really afford to spam it until you have something like an Ags or a Shiva's or something to give you a little more int. So the way Doom works now, when you're offlaning, you should always be maxing your Scorched Earth, because if you look at the difference between level 2, 3, and 4, the scaling is insane. At level 2, I think it's like 250 heal slash damage that you're doing everyone. At level 4, it's almost 800, and I think level 3 is something like 5. I'm too lazy to math it out right now, but you can look it up. It's the scaling difference is insane in terms of the survivability it gives Doom, and the survivability it gives Doom, and I'm losing my train of thought here. The survivability it gives Dooms and the damage you're outputting. So first things first, I didn't even see the pick order, I don't really care. This is stupid. You cannot skill this first. So like, the problem with skilling like this is like you're committing on devouring something. You're not necessarily going to be able to do that, and you shouldn't be in any particular rush to devour. The only time this is good, and you should still wait to skill it, is if you can get a bounty rune and then devour a big creep, which will get you to level 2 immediately. Because when you get the bounty rune, it gives you 100, killing a creep, a big creep like a centaur, or the big creep from a big camp, will get you about 112 or so, which will put you at level 2 and give you your Scorched Earth. So the problem is, when you have this level, you can get zoned out. Like, if you have Scorched Earth, you can put Scorched Earth on and run at people. This build is kind of weird. Like, I understand the rationale. You're like, okay, if I bring the Ring of Protection to lane, that means that I can finish my Tranquil Boots or Bassi here, and then I have plenty of regen in lane. It's not a bad idea, but starting with Boots is like pretty important, because it'll save you, and with Scorched Earth it'll let you trade with people. Like, I wouldn't be worried too much about the regen, because the Scorched Earth is going to give you a lot of regen in lane. But once again, you don't have it leveled. You are in a dual lane, which, the hell are their lanes? They should have a jungling Crystal Maiden. Like, Bane is actually really annoying, but I'll talk about that in like a little bit. I'm assuming we're gonna see why he's really annoying. It makes it so you can't really dive people, but so we should have a mid this guy, probably offlane that, and then you should be in a dual lane. I mean, like, I wouldn't even be scared to be solo in this lane, because they literally have no kill potential on you at all. I don't care if this AM gets fed 2 kills. Like, this lane you should shit all over this lane. Does he get 2 kills? At least he got 2 kills. Or I guess his friend feeds early on. Like, I would tell his Shadow Shaman to go away. Like, go bottom. If they go bottom, what heroes do we got bottom? Purple, Chikiro, Teal, Shadow Fiend. Okay, whatever. Yeah, but it's like a Lich. Like, if you ever catch that Lich, he's dead, and like, they could tower die with him. I would just kick this guy out of lane. I don't know why you'd think you need to run a dual lane. You definitely don't. The Bane does make the lane annoying, though. So trying. Yeah, like, if you had Scorched Earth here, you'd be able to trade better there, too. Like, let's look at this. Like, he's out of position, yeah, but you have the blocking ward. Hold on, let's see if we see this coming. Put a sentry down, you see the AM. They just wrap from the side and kill him instantly.
Ooh, Morty, can you smell that salty blood that just got first
I think you do the blocking ward that's in a tree line, so it doesn't give you vision. Is that what you did? Yeah. Okay, like that's cute. I don't know if you put that. I think he must have put it. You didn't. Like, that's cute, but that's not a hard thing to deward. Like if I'm a support and I see like, okay, my camp is blocked. My first ward I'm gonna drop is right in this tree line, which will reveal that ward. It'll reveal anything inside the camp, and it'll reveal stuff over to here. There's like cute wards you can do over here, which that D-ward will miss. So if you want to D-ward this camp, you drop a sentry right here. And you'll hit like 90% of people's D-wards, because people are fucking people's wards, because people are really lazy, and they just throw it in this camp. So you put this ward down, it gives you no vision. Like if you want to do a fucking shitty camp block or whatever, put it right here, you'll have vision of people rotating, and you'll block the camp. Because like if you had this, you wouldn't have gotten surprised by this shit, because I'd be assuming like, oh, it's a Crystal Bane, she's probably jungling. A Bane is a nuisance. What? People skill this first now? Whatever. I guess it's okay for like a zoning tool, not the mana cost is decreased. Whatever, that's probably fine. But yeah, like I'd assume the CM is jungling, but people are bad. So even though this is a very high skill bracket game, which means it's above 3700 MMR, like this is still, it wouldn't surprise me that she came here level 1, but she should be jungling, because these items are shit too. Well, you get punished by stupid play, but like with your Scorched Earth, maybe you could have saved that guy. Let's see. He was like really out of position now, so I don't know if there's much you could have done. And like, yeah, it's gonna make your lane obnoxious, but like it's still manageable. Like Doom is obscenely strong. Like I have before this patch, I had a 60% win rate on Doom. In this patch, I played 15 games. I'm 13-2. He's incredibly strong, and the way you used to play him is you'd get like Tranquil Boots. I still get Tranquil Boots a lot because I think they're really, really good on him. But you get Tranquil Boots, and if your lane's too hard, you can just run to the jungle with your Tranks because they give you faster move speed, and the regen lets you jungle and run back to lane when the creep wave is pushing. But like I've never been forced out of lane with the new Doom because the Scorched Earth is just so insanely strong. And like leveling this over Scorched Earth is such a mistake, because to use this on cooldown costs a ton of mana, and then it removes your threat of this. Like being 4-2 instead of 2-4 is just such an insane difference in terms of the damage you're outputting. I'm gonna look it up right now. It's something like 250. Doom Wikipedia. It's something like 250 versus like 800. It's absolutely insane. It is 288 versus 768. The 3 times more damage and heal is getting output by 2 more points in this. Like that's insane. When you have Doom up and Scorched Earth and you run at someone, there's like no one who can survive that. Like you're level 7, who on their team's gonna have over 1,000 hit points? And like that's gonna do like 1,000 damage between Doom and just Scorched Earth being on top of them. It's gonna do like 1,000 fucking damage by itself. And all that means you have to do is just follow them around. And then if you get a right click off, any person's dead. Like probably even a Centaur War Runner who's like level 7 would probably die to that. Like that's how insane Scorched Earth is. I just want to like impress how important that ability is. Well, let's look at this positioning. He was out of position. He was probably dead anyway. Maybe you could have done some fancy shit with Scorched Earth and like tried to body block, but like realistically, he's an idiot. He shouldn't be in this lane anyway. Like, you wouldn't have problems in this lane, because what are they going to do? Oh, I'm going to harass you with, I'm going to hold you in place with this, and then you walk away. Oh, I'm going to nightmare you into a frostbite, and then you walk away. Like, they don't have, like, the scary shit would be like Bane, like a Bane, a Sven, and like a Lina or something. Like, incredibly high burst damage that is, like, also chain stuns. Because the Bane, like, what the Bane's gonna do is when he has Nightmare, anytime you want to run at someone, he can just Nightmare you, and then your attempt to kill that person is just quashed, and your shit's all wasted. I don't know if people realize that's kind of a counter, and I kind of only realized it because in, like, maybe a third of my games is a fucking Bane. I didn't think he got that strong. I think people must pick it to, like, counter the Doom, Scorched Earth, and run at people thing, because it is incredibly annoying. But, let's see what you can do. Once again, like you leveled your Devour and you haven't even used it a minute in. You should be. Did you? Maybe you did use it. I could be wrong about that. Okay, it would be on cooldown right now. Okay, so it's still not. It's not used, and a minute in you still haven't used it. And like the only reason to level that really quickly is if you can easily get over to a side camp and eat a creep, and you weren't able to do that. So this Devour has yielded nothing for you so far. It's quite bad. And you need to be like a little scared over here now too, because you don't have Scorched Earth. Oh, big creep? Oh, she killed the big creep. See, that sucks. That armor creep would be fucking huge in this lane. Anti-Mage's mana break is physical damage, and having the aura armor would be so good. So you have the Scorched Earth now. He breaks it off of you at... Okay, so he saved you there. You can't complain about him feeding your lane twice when that saved you. Well, not saved. Like, he didn't need to do that. You weren't gonna die, and he killed himself. But, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that was, like, the worst thing in the world. You would have been fine there, but he tried to save you. But like you probably didn't even realize you'd be fine there. But that's how I'm gonna counter that. So you had a position. He's getting nightmared. You have Scorched Earth. Like honestly, he just needed to wait it out, and then he could have like tried to shackle if they chased you. So he misplayed that again, but yeah. So I'll take that back. He didn't save you, but definitely didn't help you either. So they have boots now. So he has boots. She does not have boots. Like you not having boots is gonna make this annoying too, because you see once again, like I already looked at your skill build on Dota buff. Like that's when I quickly looked at it. I know you're gonna max this, and the Scorched Earth is what you want to max, because you can't use this on cooldown, and you haven't even gotten a creep yet. So leveling it first was a mistake, and maxing it is kind of silly. Because like what maxing it does, it lets you get a lot of farm. So it's not wrong to max it in 100% of scenarios. Like if I'm in a 1v1, like if I'm offlane like 1v1 versus Clockwork, because they want to like aggro try or something stupid like that, they got a 1v1 versus an axe. I think in that it might have been a mistake to max the Devour, but if I'm in a 1v1, I'll max the Devour. And I'll get phase boots usually. If I'm in like a 1v3 lane, I'll get tranquil boots almost every time. 1v3, 1v2, because the tranks, the armor from the tranks lets you dive and like just go fucking hard as shit. Because you have tranquil boots, and if you get that wild wing creep over there, gives you another 3 aura armor, and if you have a Bassi, you're gonna be running around like 10, 11 armor at like level 7 with like 1800 effective HP, or not EHP, sorry, that's armor calculations, but you have like 1000 HP, and then you have this at level 7 gives you like almost 800 heal. So you're running around with almost like 1800 HP. It's fucking insane. And then the armor makes it so like your one weakness of like physical damage is just a non-entity. It's crazy. Phase are good too because they help with your diving and they synergize with your Scorched Earth pretty well. But I still think Tranks are really good. I know some people disagree with that, but it's a preference thing. So right now you should be trying to aggro these creeps back using like aggro tricks. And so another thing, you should never use Devour if it means you won't have Scorched Earth. And an AM lane, oh, there's something else I meant to talk about and I forgot to. If I know I'm laning against an anti-mage, I'll always start with like 2 mangoes. Because not having your mana means you don't have a kill threat. So having mangoes is going to give you that nice little regen, and then you'll always have your Scorched Earth available. And he can't manage, like that's like a reserve pool of your mana that the AM can't touch with his mana break. So even if he's like harassing you really well, if his supports get out of position, and since it's a bane, it's like a little different, but this is still applicable. If his supports get out of position, you just pop a mango, Scorched Earth, and run at them, and that's all you have to do. Yeah, so the mango starts really good against anti-mage, and I imagine I'm going to see you use this Devour, which will open you up to the potential of being killed. Like, in this lane, I want to stress, like, you should never feel the fear of dying. Like, there's no real reason you should be able to die. Not having the boots makes you kind of a little scared, but even with no boots, like, who cares? You still have Scorched Earth and huge HP. Okay, so we used it. Alright. So use the Scorched Earth if they went on you. But imagine if they went on you, if this was like a little farther up, you used that Devour, which I'm assuming you would have used on cooldown, otherwise why are you leveling it? And this lane was pushed out a little more, they see you Devour and they jump you immediately. You have no recourse for that. You're dead. Or you're most likely dead. If the CM was in on that rotation, you're like 100% dead, but she got skilled. She's 1-1. Okay. So maybe it would be very close, but you could die. Because keep in mind, they're both fast. No boots on him, but he's just generally faster because Doom's base 290. he has boots and hits pretty hard, and he has brain sap. Like not having your heal is like a recipe for disaster. You're shipping yourself. Okay, so you're shipping yourself boots in this. Like, in this lane, you can probably feel you're going to be harassed a lot. And I'm not saying that the Sage's Mask is wrong, and to getting a Bastion is wrong. I love Bastion and Doom. I'm saying that Tranks probably would have been a good idea. And it's important to, like, not blindly do things because you've seen other people do it. Like, you have to look at a situation and think, like, okay, what works here? And having the Tranquils is, like, really, really good. Because it means you don't have to use your Scorched Earth to heal, which is particularly relevant early on when your HP pool is not outrageously enormous. And the 4 armor is going to help a lot versus mana burn versus right clicks. It's going to give you 60 base move speed. Plus 60 base move speed, I'm sorry. So you'll be moving at 350. And then when they're not broken, you're moving at 90. So when you're doing Gang Slater, it helps a lot. So there's a lot of early game like mistakes. Like the misskilling hurts your laning efficiency. And like you still don't have a creep, and it's like 5 minutes in. That's a mistake I make a lot too. Like I don't, if I'm in a lane and I'm getting experience, I'm not gonna go out of my way to go like devour a creep. And this on Dire side, it's a lot easier. If you're offlaning here, it's kind of harder to go get a creep. If you had a mango, you wouldn't have died here, or if someone had a fucking TP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Boom, you got mana broken, and he shouldn't be allowed to dive you like this, but that's. He doesn't have boots, does he? No, he just got boots. That's why I was able to do it. Because you didn't have boots, and because you didn't activate your Scorched Earth quickly enough, like as soon as you saw him like posturing closely, I think you had like a second where you could have activated it. We're gonna go back a little further. He's trying to chill in experience range. As soon as you see him moving towards you with that creep wave, you need to pop it. And then it lets you sit there too, like you don't have to back away, which is another thing. Like you see, he's gonna fuck with you at this creep wave. I always feel like ×1 is actually slower than game speed. It's really annoying. So you have the mana for Scorched Earth, and you leveled your level death again. Once again, I talked about that's an issue, but no point in beating that one to death. As soon as you see that creep wave coming at you, you need to pop your Scorched Earth because you're such low HP. You completely die here, and it's all your fault for not having boots, poor itemization, poor skilling, and not reacting properly. Like, as soon as you see that creep wave, I just want to stress it again. Like, you're trying to get your experience here, which is totally the correct decision to do, but keep in mind, you're really low HP right now. And even, like, it wouldn't have, right here, Scorched Earth. Like, you see it about to happen. You should know that he's about to try and, like, either harass you, and even if he harasses you, he's going to bring your mana really low, so you might as well use the Scorched Earth so he doesn't do more damage with his mana break. Instead, he's able to aggressively jump you, because you don't have boots, you don't have your move speed, you don't have your heal. Like, your heal, you live here. You can run circles around this tower while healing up. And, like, the heal from that is 288 versus 504 if that was skilled. So you'd heal 288 damage over 12 seconds versus 504 over 14. So that's you misplaying that. And like, yeah, this guy screwed up your lane a little bit by kind of being a fool. He's a fucking solar. He's a clown. We can say he's a clown. But that doesn't like excuse the misplays that you're making. I don't need to sound like super critical. Oh, please put a good word. Okay, that's good. So, because of the way you're skilling, you're also not really going to have kill potential on him once you hit, now you're shot. Like, just take this time and go eat a creep. Like, you need to have one of these effects. It's like a huge part of laning Doom. Like, having a creep can be the difference of, like, winning a lane and losing a lane. Hold on, we're gonna see what creeps are available. This is a good one. This is probably the shittiest creep, actually. This is probably the second shittiest big creep you can get. I mean, the attack speed's kind of nice. Oh, it's 15. I thought it was 20. Alright, whatever. I mean, like, the slow is, like, it's okay. And the attack... Okay, nothing happened in your line. The attack speed's, like, kind of nice on Doom. Makes your animation a little better. And, like, the slow is okay. The big mana creep here, the one that gives you, like, 3 mana regen aura or something, and a heal that's, like, 15 for, like, 10 mana or something like that. That one's probably one of the best now. The aura, the big satyr creep is probably the best, tied with The big creep here, the small healing creep here, and the bird creep are probably the three best, with the bird creep probably being the worst. But it depends also how you're skilling. Why are you running? You should have just... I think you approached this dive wrong too. Like, you're letting this guy fucking bully you out of lane. You need to not... Okay, we're gonna go back, because like way more things happened over here that shouldn't have. We lost all of our mana too. Okay, we're fresh in the lane. You get scared, you activate your Scorched Earth. You start trading with him. I mean, he's an anti-mage, he's not gonna be that scared of your heal, right? So what you want to do is pull the creeps back. Like, this is definitely, like, now that he's fed, he's actually 1-0 and 2, he's got 40 creeps. Like, you haven't really screwed with him enough, and you haven't really gotten enough from this lane. Like, you want to be aggroing and pulling these back. You don't want to walk up like that, where he can blink and harass you for free. It's really bad. And now that you have no mana, you need to be scared, because, you should also probably wear a Stout Shield too, it would have been pretty good. Because he's like, his trades with you are super efficient, because he's got a Poor Man Shield, Treads, I mean, he's having the time of his life. Because he has these items, his trades are super efficient. If you had like 2 mangoes right now, might have been a part of your starting item, might have been able to pick it up later, you wouldn't be as scared. But like right now, you can't really walk up. You don't have a Scorched Earth, and he's just gonna, like, he's diving like an idiot here. And once again, this is where he should get punished by your team being bad, but this is also you screwing up. You should just autoed him here. If you just autoed him under the tower, like, he didn't really miss any auto attacks by you clowning. If you just autoed him while he's tanking the tower, you probably would have at least gotten the kill too. This guy's smart, he'll buy a ring of health and send himself a salve. Ugh. But yeah, like, that's another misplay on your part. Like, you need to understand that the only time lanes are scary for Doom is when you can't activate a Scorched Earth. And he's just gonna blink away. Yeah, he doesn't need to be scared of you because you're not level 6. Boom, now you got your ult, and let's see how you respond to this. Because like, your goal with the ult, so the way you're gonna get kills is by doing, if the Bane's in the lane, like, let's say you had this at a reasonable time, because you've played this lane really poorly so far, and like, the Shadow Shaman didn't help. We pointed out like your mistakes and the way you approach the lane that was kind of wrong. Hypothetically, if the Bane was here and you had your 6 at a reasonable time, you'd have to Doom the Bane because he can just Nightmare you and negate your threat, and the person you Doom won't die because it's only like 300 damage. It's like 320, I think, right? No, it's 300 exactly. Because it's 20 times 15 is 300 pure damage. So they'll only take the 300 pure damage, but you'd have to Doom him because the Nightmare completely negates anything, and you can run in and kill him too. Like, you don't need to focus on killing the AM. The AM will lose later on to you if you're playing correctly, because AM wants to split push, and a Doom with a Shadow Blade and like Boots of Travel will just kill him every fucking time. So we have it. You don't just want to. You might be able to just Doom him here, but you probably want the Scorched Earth. Problem is you can't get autoed, you're not going to kill him. Oh, maybe you will. No, you're going to. Or Denial? It's going to be close. Oh, ha ha. Okay, so that was his ring of health saving him there. It was definitely really close though. Was that Razor not skilling that? He was. Yeah, see, I barely missed killing him. That was really, really close. And like, that wasn't necessarily a bad attempt, but like, without the Scorched Earth, if you had like Scorched Earth up there, and I think you were like cooldown shy there, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's rough. See, this guy, if he had his shit maxed, he would have killed him there. Not much you can do about that. Okay, now your Scorched Earth is almost down. That means this is where you should be scared. Don't go back in here. You're going to die too. I must have misassessed that. If he gets gone on, your Scorched Earth is down. This means like your ult and your Scorched Earth are down. He kinda wasted that. He could have used that on the Shadow Fiend, who's a bigger threat. He didn't look before doing that. And gets a kill. You're probably gonna die here, I think, right? You have to die. Yeah, like, don't commit yourself to shitty things. So, we pop our Scorched Earth here to, like, run away or whatever. No, we pop it to run at them, right? Yeah, so we pop it to run. You don't run. You should eat this creep. That'd be swell. Hell yeah, we got it. Now your Scorched Earth is down. You have no mana, your Scorched Earth is down, your Doom is down, and your Devour is down. As if that would do anything. And your only creep aura is like the speedy guy. He is dead. There's no point in coming here right now. And it's only going to serve to get you killed. Because there's nothing you can really do. Do you even get an extra kill for it? I don't think you do. Yeah, he hit that by himself. He hangs out, gets a second kill. Like, he didn't need you for that either. You just here, you kind of annoy them a little bit. It doesn't do anything. Like, you need to understand, like, your threat as Doom is from your Scorched Earth. If that's down, then what are you doing? Another thing, I think something you should pretty much always do is get a Midas on Doom. Like, in my average game, I'll have, like, Tranks, maybe a stick. Tranks, Bassi, or Phase Bassi, into Midas. I don't rush a Midas. You don't need to rush it. You get it like before 15 minutes and you're cool. Because what the Midas lets you do is all your farm comes from devouring something on cooldown and Midasing something on cooldown. And you can spend the rest of the time just looking for kills. And then when your Doom's on cooldown, you also want to be farming. You didn't really need to run away. You should have devoured something as soon as you got in. It would have been a free devour, so now next time you devour something, it's going to cost you mana. You're still not devouring stuff. That's bad too. I mean, if you're gonna max it, like, it's to farm, and you're not, you barely used it enough this game. So what was the point in leveling it? So another thing I don't think I really got into enough was, when you level Devour, you want to be using it all the time. I don't skill Devour as a primary ability. I max this first because I always want to be able to use my Scorched Earth. And if I'm using this on cooldown, then I'm going to be running low on mana for my Scorched Earth and Doom combo. If you look, your mana pool is kind of low. This is 150 plus, I mean, this would be 75, which is 225, which only gives you room for like about 2 Devours, and then they can have some harass, and, you know, things can cause you to kind of be low on mana. So you need to have that comfortable pool. And I don't feel pressured. If I'm 2-4, I don't feel pressured to use my Devour. I'm just like, whatever, I can use that later. It's not the biggest deal. It's a small amount of gold, but having the Scorched Earth is going to get me kills, and it's going to apply pressure. Now, something to be said, like, you want to, when you're playing the offlane, like, yeah, getting farm is, like, really good, but, like, as an offlane Doom, what you can do is you can get kills, and kills, like, usually, if you watch any other videos I make, like, always stress, like, playing the safe route, and, I'll stress playing the safe route, and just trying to get farm and not going for unnecessary kills. The way you want to play Doom, though, is by applying insane pressure. Like, even if you're not diving for kills, using your Scorched Earth and your Doom to apply insane pressure to their safe laner or to their supports to make it so they're so scared to leave people alone over here because they will die. And when you don't have that max, it makes it so you can't do that. And when you have this max, it makes you feel like I have to use that on cooldown, otherwise why are you getting it? And it's going to run you through, in 80 seconds you'll be down 120 mana, which means if you're in lane for a little over a minute, you won't have mana for this combo. Or it'd be very close to where you wouldn't have mana for that combo, or one mana break would make it so you don't have mana for that combo. Which is it's just really, really bad. A stick probably would have been good too, because they were, like, he spams stuff. They have a lot of shit that gets spammed in fights, so like a stick and a wand is something I get on Doom a lot. I hate drums. Jesus fuck, they're just stacking up my assists right now. So like a stick and a wand are like fine to get too. I hate drums because they cost too much and Doom's kind of slot constricted, but like a wand and a Bassi, those are cheap enough, really effective items on, or really efficient items on him, that you don't mind throwing away. You missed the last hit there for no reason to eat that. I don't know if I was just a screw up. Here, turn your Bassi on. One of the reasons you carry on a Bassi is so you can... See, he only needs to get 2 autos on you. Turn and Doom, motherfucker. Turn and Doom him. Hell yeah. This might be a kill. Gotta actually use the phase boots. You're not gonna kill him now. You didn't commit on it. And you kind of screwed up. Oh, he has the frost armor too. That kind of sucks. Does he have a full wand? Yes, he does. So yeah, if you turned on that immediately, you probably would have killed that guy. But you kind of reacted slow and then didn't kill him because of it. There's no reason to pursue. Your Scorch Earth is down. You can't do anything. If you're gonna commit on here, you're just gonna fuck yourself. Okay, yeah, you're gonna die now. There are 4 people here. You get like you need to know when to back up. I don't watch the replays in advance. I'm just looking at the situation and knowing, okay, you're gonna die. It's because you don't have your only source of damage up right now. Well, I guess both your sources of damage are on cooldown. And I don't know what you're building here, but as I said before, the Midas, like the first item on Doom doesn't really matter that much, but getting all your levels is really important because, like I said about level death earlier, is you don't want to get it early because it costs a lot of mana, but it is a really strong spell, particularly in the mid and late game. Like the 7. I thought they put to 6. Whatever. So it's a 7-second cooldown on a 275 plus damage nuke. It's so strong. And getting your Doom levels is huge too, because this goes from, what is it, 300 damage to, oh man, I'm so lazy with math, 35, to about 525, I think, if I did that right. I'm pretty lazy. 350 plus half of that is 175, which is 525. Okay, yeah, I got it right. So it goes from 300 to 525 damage, which is like a huge point where it increases the strength of it, and then your next level is also like a really strong increase. When you get Ags, it's also really strong. This is a game where you should be getting Ags. It's what's going to let you solo kill an anti-mage all the time. I have a game I played really recently that's actually, it's kind of similar to yours. The anti-mage didn't snowball out of control, but you'll see the way I play the lane and like what I do purposely to make sure I'm hunting down an anti-mage the entire game. And the guy is never able to get ahead by split pushing, because I use Boots of Travel to just follow him around the map and kill him with Doom on cooldown. But yeah, so that was like another thing. Like you just have to be aware of this stuff. You can't just go in for the fuck of it. You have to be making conscious decisions, like knowing that this is purposeful and this is why I'm doing an action. And like this is, like when this is on cooldown, I don't fight. Like I'll shout to my team, hey, my shit's on cooldown, let's back up. And if they don't want to listen, fuck them. Because you can't be dying like this. It's really bad. You can take that creep, that's a really good one. Gives you a little stun and a no mana stun that does like a pretty decent nuke. It's a really good creep to have. And you spawn the little bros. That's also an excellent creep. But so like right now here, we need to come up with an assessment. What's our plan here? Well, let's even go back before this. I'm gonna look at this game and say, okay, what do I need to do? This AM's kind of getting out of control. How do I stop that? The answer is what you build against an anti-mage and heroes who can respond instantly to your blink dooms. So that's like an anti-mage, like a tinker, or other cores that build like a blink dagger or have mantas. Because if you blink at someone as Doom, his cast point and his ult is really high. So if you have someone who's a manta user, like an anti-mage, I'm not scared of a blink Doom. I'll farm fearlessly against a blink Doom, but I can't farm fearlessly against a shadow blade Doom. And the reason for that is if a blink Doom blinks on me, I immediately manta and then I blink away. And then when you manta, it cancels his cast point on his Doom. So like when I'm still pushing, I have my finger on my manta key. And then as soon as I see the Doom blink in, I manta and then I blink away. Or I man up on him, like depending on how close he blinked. Like I might just turn on him with the manta illusions, because you'll get through his shit mana pool very, very quickly. To the point where he can't even doom me if he figures out the real one. And he might just panic and, you know, there's a 1/3 chance he'll doom the correct one, but he's still probably getting fucked up if he's far enough behind. If it's an Ags Doom, I'd probably play it safe and just blink away. You know, it's all situational, but like I have to judge that as an anti-mage whether or not I'm going to try and fight this Doom or if I'm just gonna run. But the important thing is that running is always the option when I have the manta. Because you blink, meaning you can't blink again to follow me. So I manta, blink away, and go farm the woods. Now I know your position, and I'll just leave and go to the other, farm the woods, or farm whatever I can near me, and then go to the other side of the map, and then your time's wasted. So against an anti-mage, like a Tinker, you can't reliably hit him with the Scorch Earth damage. I had Radiance and my Scorch Earth, and I couldn't catch a Tinker. He managed to blink out while under both dots like 3 or 4 times in one game. It's the most frustrating thing in the fucking world. But it's like luck and him having really fast responses. but they can't respond to you dooming out of a Shadow Blade because you only come out of the Shadow Blade once the doom has gone through. So you can walk right up to someone, doom them, and then use your Scorched Earth and kill them. So in this game, if there's an anti-mage, I'm always building a Shadow Blade. If there's no heroes who meet that criteria, I'll get a Blink, because the Blink is a more reliable initiation, a more reliable ganking tool. And like I said, the only time it's not that is if the cores you want to hunt down have a means of escape if you blink on them. Like a mag, like we don't really care about killing the mag that much. Like your goal should be hunting down this anti-mage and making his life miserable for the whole game. Because this is not a fast battlefield. I want to stress that. He's gotten 77 creeps, he's 5-0 and 3. That his farm's low. I guess there's been a lot of fighting in his lane. I'm not gonna fault him for that. But it's not gonna be slow, but it's gonna be like 14 minutes. And with 5 kills, I'd expect it to be a bit faster than that. So he's gonna have like a 14-minute one, but with like all those kills, I would have expected like a 12-minute one or something. But whatever. So this is another guy who can just blink respond to you blinking on him. And like if you don't have a blink or a Shadow Blade, then you can't reliably get your dooms off and create pressure where you're supposed to be creating pressure. So that's 2 heroes who can like instantly respond to your shit. Okay, so we'll just keep looking. Like it already looks like you're committing to. I guess this is Assange. What the hell else does that build into? Let's get some free camera action. Pretty sure it's Assange, right? Yeah. I didn't think it was gonna be these 2. Shit.
Holy crap, Rick, he's unstoppable.
Oh, yeah, so.
What's the matter with you? You just
Yeah, I don't like a halberd. What's a halberd gonna do in this game? I guess it makes you a little more survivable to their physical damage, but like they have a good amount of magic nukes too. Like that's not the only problem. I guess raw HP and your Scorched Earth can kind of solve the magical damage problem to an extent, as long as you have enough HP to then be able to regen after getting hard nuked. But like it's a fucking halberd. Like what is that gonna do really? It's nothing. It's like if you're in a 5-on-5 fight and they try and target you, okay, that's a problem. But like it's gonna do nothing to get you back in this game. It's gonna do nothing to punish this anti-mage. Like, cause look how low HP he is right now. Like obviously you don't have a Shadow Blade right now, but if he continues playing this game like this, you just smoking once you get the Shadow Blade, running through here as soon as your smoke pops, or you know whenever you feel like it, you pop the Shadow Blade, and then you find where he is, and you hit him and doom him. Like sometimes you have to play risky. I don't think he'll be able to, since he doesn't have a Manta, he won't be able to respond with a Manta. So if he's in the middle of like autoing a camp, I'll hit him with a Shadow Blade hit and then doom him. Like you just have to judge if you think they're going to be able to respond in time and get away. In his particular case, he won't be able to. He should be building a Vlad's this game. If he doesn't, that's awesome for you, because with the Vlads, if you don't have an Ags on, the fuck is this? Oh, okay, it's the Vlads. I also hate the Vlads. Like I said, you're very slot constricted. It's not that Vlad's is a terrible item. It's that it cost a lot of money. That could have like that is your Shadow Amulet basically, and getting a Shadow Blade isn't much for. Like, I don't know what's the casual belt of strength either. It's many like things that don't make sense happening here. Sorry, back on topic. So with the Vlads, if you don't have an Ags upgrade, he can just sit there and man fight you during the duration of the Doom. Like he shouldn't try and run, he should just sit there and attack you. Because without the Ags, you don't disable his spell shield, so your Scorched Earth and your level death aren't really going to be doing damage, and you don't disable his mana break, which means he can still trade with you very efficiently. And the Vlad is going to make him regen like about 30 HP a hit, which should come very close to yeah, it's going to basically negate your Scorched Earth. So at that point, it's just you guys trading right clicks with someone who's ahead of you. So he should be getting a Vlad's, and you should be getting a Shadow Blade and a Doom, and like hopefully you find him a Shadow Blade and an Ags. I'm sorry. And, like you're not using your Doom, you need to be using this shit on cooldown. Like the only time I jungle or I AFK farm on Doom is when let's back up. We've been farming for quite some time. Yeah, so the only time I do like I jungle and I farm is when my Doom's on cooldown or my mana's really low. It's like after I get a kill and my mana's really low and my shit's on cooldown, like I'll sit in lane and I'll farm, I'll go to the jungle and I'll farm, and then I'll walk back to base and I'll try and time that with my Doom being up again, and then I go looking for kills again. Like that's your purpose. You just create immense pressure with your Doom and what Scorched Earth does for you, and just run around just ruining people's fucking day. And you're not doing that. Like you've been jungling for like 2 minutes now. Like, don't accept, like, if you're really close to like a Midas or something, like, yeah, just go finish that and jungle it. There's no reason to like prolong that. If that's something you really want to finish, you should eat the creep. Your Devour's on cooldown or off cooldown. That's like a waste. You just leave without finish. Okay, I mean lane creeps are better, so it's good. Like, you wasted that. You could have used that on the little centaur, and it would be very close to up right about in like 10 seconds. So that's like more inefficient stuff. I want to stress, this is probably the most broken fucking hero in Dota right now. People can complain about Alchemist, but like, if you know what you're doing on Doom, like there's people who just play this hero because they're like, oh, he's broken, and like they'll win more games just because the hero is kind of strong, but like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to win as much. Like I said, I had a 60% win rate, and I just started playing him again, and I'm at like a 90% win rate, and my 2 losses, I still went positive in those games, and my team just got completely blown out in other lanes. Like, at no point, I haven't lost my lane on Doom in 15 games. I've gotten kills, I've created pressure, I've taken tier 1 towers of 3 minutes in 1v1 lanes. Like, it's disgusting what this hero can do right now. And he could already do it to an extent before that buff, but then after the Scorched Earth buff, it's multiplied, like, so heavily. He's just incredibly strong. Why am I looking at this guy? I don't care what he's doing. So it's been like 4 minutes, and I don't. Okay, finally we got the Doom used. It's been 4 minutes without a Doom going off, which means you're not using your abilities, and like going for this Vlad's once again is not helping. You're not gonna be able to sneak up on people. It's just gonna help you kind of be a tank in a fight. But clearly that's not working. You can't do that for your team. Your team needs to just kind of farm. Like right now, if I look at this game, I'm like, okay, we need to farm. Doom needs to like get shit to kill this anti-mage, which means you need to get a Shadow Blade and an Aghanim Scepter, and then Boots of Travel. Immediately in that order, you should get a Shadow Blade, which lets you start applying pressure to the anti-mage among other heroes. You have to judge whether or not you can kill the anti-mage in your Doom, since you're so underleveled. But you could still kill other people, and it's still fine to have that Shadow Blade. Like, it's not. Like, just know, like, the anti-mage is going to die once you have those items. So all you need to do, like, this game is salvageable. So let me just kind of, like, even go back a little further. So this game, if I look at it, I'm like, okay, we're in a shit shape. What's gonna change this game? What's gonna change this game is your ability to shut that anti-mage the fuck down. And the way you're gonna shut him down is by getting a Shadow Blade, getting an Aghanim Scepter, and then getting Boots of Travel. And use the Boots of Travel to follow him around. And just wherever he's in lane, you just Boots of Travel to the creep wave right before him, you Shadow Blade up on him, and you doom him, and you fucking kill him. And I don't care if he has a heart, and he's like 8k up on you, he's going to die in that. Like, it's so incredibly strong. Like, I can't understate that enough. So you can be down 5-22, and I'm sure your team's probably raging and being toxic at this point. I can't see the chat between you guys. But, like, this AM, his farm sucks. He's got 150 CS. Like, with that type of start, with like a 14-minute battle fury, this guy should be chilling at like, I don't know, like 200 CS probably right now. Like, he's not a good player. His skill build is garbage. Like, he doesn't need this maxed. You need stats. You need stats over this. Lets you jungle quicker, lets you push harder, lets you deal with a Doom actually getting cast on you more. But like, it's like people are bad. Like, you can totally still fuck this guy up because he's got such a low HP pool. But like, you just need to think about these things and then get the items you need. Like, the items you're getting aren't going to result in you being able to turn this game back. Getting the Ags, getting the Shadow Blade, those are what are going to let you get kills. And I want to stress like how important that is to like look at a game and say what's going to get us back in this. Because the aim is going to want to be split pushing for quite a bit of time. Like, yeah, he can show up to fights, but primarily his number one thing he wants to do is split push. He doesn't want a 5-man and just move as a team. He wants to split push. And you can catch him split pushing very easily. And like, you're not going to catch him every time, but if you catch him like 25% of the time, so like, let's say like once every 4 minutes, you manage to end up in the same lane where he is or something, and you kill him, that's huge. Like, the first kill on him is an 8-0 streak. So you only need to kill him once, and you're going to get like 1,000 fucking gold. It's going to be huge. And like, it's very possible for you to kill him. Like, even right now, I'd say, oh, he's got the Vlad, so he probably won't get too low. Maybe with the level 2 Doom. It's rough. It's definitely rough. With one other person, let's say you move with the Shadow Shaman. Like, you and the Shadow Shaman smoke, and you try and kill him. And if you find him, then you kill him. He's probably fast, right? 375 versus. Okay, so it's possible for you guys to catch him. like once you get the Doom, the Shadow won't be able to run and get like shackles or something off. And like that's like important stuff you need to look at. Like if you want to, I can guarantee like you probably can't solo him unless he fucks up because he's pretty far ahead right now. He's like twice your net worth. But I want to stress like even twice your net worth, I was still kind of iffy on how easy it would be for you to solo him. And the reason you can't is because he's gonna have the mana break and he's gonna do a lot of damage and the Vlad's gonna let him heal. If he didn't have the Vlads and had like a Yasha instead, you'd be able to kill him. Like literally, it's just that one item that's preventing him from killing you. I don't know if he did it intuitively, if he knew like that's why he needs it, or whatever. But that's what's gonna make the difference for that. But still, with 2 people, you can still kill this anti-mage if you catch him slip pushing. But like the items you have are not gonna let you do this. And the items you're working on, the items I know you get because of Dota buff, are not gonna let you do this. Where's my boy at? Okay. He gets Dove. You don't have Doom up. Can't kill him anyway. I mean, you hear him running around. But like, it doesn't matter. He could just kill you. Like he, I guess he doesn't know he can kill you. Okay, maybe he does now know he can kill you. Like he must not have a timer on your Doom because if I knew that Doom was up, I wouldn't have given a shit. I would have just turned on you. I would have been like, okay, I killed your friend. I'm gonna kill you now too. And you don't even have the mana for Doom now. Just like wasting your time. Like right now, you should be heading back to base because you know your Doom is gonna be up in 8 seconds, and you need mana. Like if you want to drop another Devour first, that's fine. But
I love it, Morty.
where are we going?
I love it.
Okay. I mean, it's fine to TP back. The thing is, like, I'd say walk back and then TP where you want to go, because you don't know where you want to go when you're here. So walk back to base, and then so your TP scroll is up, you know, you can look at the lane and say, okay, there's a person farming this, if I TP here, I can probably kill him. But let's say you don't have the Shadow Blade, you don't have a Blink, so you don't really have a form of initiation, so you kind of have to go with like a smoke. Like, you have to do something to try and allow you to get the jump on someone. Nighttime is definitely going to make it harder for you too. You're not even, see, like, you're still not doing anything. And like, yeah, like right now it's really hard to do something, but I mean, you weren't gonna kill that guy. He could just man fight you through this. Oh, cool. Alright, got him. Boom. 1,500 gold. You got 2k in the bank, and we're gonna end up completing a halberd. Like, if you didn't buy this, you'd have like a full Shadow Blade right now. Like, it's so important. And also, getting the Midas would have helped you a lot too. Like, I know you didn't have a great lane, and the Midas lets you recover from that too. Like, it guarantees a certain level of item progression. Like, right now, if you had a Midas, you would have had, well, I mean, these items, the whole itemization is wrong, but... Alright. Boop. So the whole itemization is wrong, but if you just got like a Midas after your phase or whatever, which would have came at like maybe 12 or 15 minutes. I can't remember. Like, it would have been a later Midas, like maybe like 15 minutes, we'll say. But then like 8 minutes later, if you just focus on using your Doom and using the Midas and Devour on cooldown, you'd have more levels right now. You'd probably be like 14, 15. And you should have your Shadow Blade too. And then an Ags really isn't, like, it doesn't take very long to farm an Ags if you're like kind of reasonably far ahead, or even if you're not reasonably, not even far ahead. If like you're doing okay, it won't take you very long. Are you giving up his ward spots? That's a pretty dick move if so. I guess you're just mad at him for not warding. And so like now the game's kind of getting far behind, but it's just because you can't do anything to like make your team catch up. So like we're not gonna see anything changing here because there's so many like fundamental problems. Like, you don't have the ability to catch up. Like, unless they do some really fucking dumb shit, nothing's gonna matter. Oh, hey, it's that again. Oh. It's good. That was kind of the fucking dumb shit we could hope for. We have 1,800 gold. What are we gonna build? The only person you want to disable from right-clicking is like an anti-mage. I guess a mag to a much lesser extent, but we'll just say pretty much AM. We're gonna go for an AC. Like, you still don't have initiation, man. You still don't have anything to get you the jump on an AM. Like, there's nothing to stop this guy from slip pushing at all. Should try and have the purge creep is really good right now. Well, actually, you don't have the mana pool. If you have like a point booster, you can afford the purge creep, and the purge creep is like really good because
This is stupid. You should have bought the should buy the plate mail. If you feel you need armor, you just buy the plate mail. There's no point in sitting a 1300 gold recipe in your base. So there's like two reasons for that. One, it's 1300 gold that's doing nothing versus 1400 gold that does something. You can replace that and you'd be. What did we just sell? I guess we didn't sell anything. Yeah, I guess we didn't sell anything. But that's gonna give you 10 more armor, which gives you huge survivability against AM's right clicks. And see, I'd probably get a Shiva's in this game because this guy sometimes wants to get an AC. And Shiva's is really good for catching a hero like an AM who will blink into a tree line because the Shiva's gives you vision. Same thing versus like a Tinker or something. Yeah, so that's gonna give you much more survivability. Or if you have enough armor, you can get the Hyperstone if you want. I think on Doom you pretty much always want the armor because your job is just to be tanky and kind of like do something occasionally. Like, and another thing is, like, if you're in a fight and you're almost dying, you can't buy the plate mail or the hyperstone because they're at the side shop. But you can buy this stuff, which would be at your main shop. So if you're dying, you could spend your gold on these two items. But now, like, if you die, you're just gonna lose gold. You can't spend it on your items you want anyway. Un problematico. Alright, we got a Doom up and we're farming. It's good. You should be trying to communicate with. Like, I know you're not getting along with your team. Maybe that's having an impact on this. Where did that Jakira just die? He can't afford to be down there by himself right now. But if, like, you were moving with him, you might be able to get a kill there. Or if you like smoke top, or like you have to do some sort of movement to utilize your Doom. Is he strong right now? I mean, if he hits an ice path, that's pretty good. Like, he's okay. He could definitely help you get a kill. If you're up here at the Shadow Shaman, you might have been able to get 2 kills as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, like, it is partial, like, a breakdown in how the team's functioning because you all hate each other. But, like, if you want to win a game, you gotta just move past that shit. Do what's gotta be. Use your Devour! God. Yeah, so these items are absolutely garbage. You have no way to, like, your hope is just in a 5-on-5 fight, the anti-mage blinks forward and you get a Doom on him, or like the mag runs in, you Doom him, or like you're just hoping they fuck up. You can't force mistakes with this. Like it's probably not even worth watching the rest of this. Like honestly, it isn't. I'm not gonna finish watching it. I don't mean that as an insult. It's just like at this point, you don't have the tools needed to kill this AM. Unless he fucks up, which isn't a good thing. Like, oh, if he fucks up, we could win. Like, no, you should always want the ball to be in your court and on you playing well. And if you got the Shadowblade Ags, you could just follow him around and kill him, just whenever you want. Even right now, you could still kill this guy if right now it's 30 minutes in. He's got a Manta, Battle Fury. He's farmed. He's got fucking 20k. He's actually pretty poor. The Abyssal should be completed, but whatever. Like, let me say, it's not horrible farm. It's reasonable. With 14 kills, it's shitty, but like, let's say he didn't get kills and he was just farming. Like, this would be okay. Shadowblade and Ags, you can kill him fucking easily because you walk up, you Doom him. You don't even have to do the Shadowblade hit because he's got a Manta, right? He's got a Manta, so we can't use the Shadowblade to initiate. We use the Shadowblade just to enable us to get the Doom without him responding. And then you level death him because guess what? Now that his mana shield is disabled, this actually does damage. And then, you know, he's actually taking damage from Scorch Earth because you've disabled his spell shield. And he's taking huge pure damage. You're level 16, so yeah, it would be a ton. You can't actually calculate it because it doesn't tick down while you're close to them, so. Like, he would die every fucking time, and he's twice your net worth right now. Following him around and just getting those kills off, so huge, so huge. Like, who even gives a shit? You can even just buy the wards to enable you to get those kills if you need to. Like, you can keep crying at this guy, but he's clearly in a pissy mood with his fucking Ags into blink instead of the reverse. Like, he's a shit player. I'm not defending that. This guy's shit too. No farm, 10 deaths. Yeah, their 3-stack is fucking garbage, but like, I just want to stress that you could have done things to create space for your team and shut this anti-mage down. And if you play this properly, the only person you need to shut down is an anti-mage. Like, oh, they got a Magnus. Who gives a shit? It's a fucking Magnus. If you have If you get a refresher and a BKB in this game, Ags refresher BKB. If like you ever get to a point where you have that, you're gonna doom the anti-mage, you're gonna doom the Magnus, and you're gonna walk around laughing. Like that's it. You'd kill both of them, and you BKB, and the other three heroes can't do shit to you. I mean, if this guy had an Ags, I guess he could. He's not building an Ags. But like you're laughing. Like you could come back. It's probably a huge deficit. Yeah, 15k. That's not even that bad. I figured it was gonna be more because how far he was ahead. But like 15k, that's whatever. It's not the end of the world. 15k at 30 minutes. It's 500 gold a minute advantage they gained. That's fine. You can come back from that. But it's just like you need to play smart. You need to use the Shadow Blade, use a blink, use something to like hunt them down. But you're creating no pressure. They can do whatever they want, and you're not creating space for your team. Like you spent so much. I can't click that, can I? We'll just. I don't really care what happens from here. This isn't gonna change. You spend so much of the map, or so much of the game, chilling over here. You need to be on this side of the map, creating space. Like, if you're scared, you just kind of like jungle these camps. You just hang around. You just hang around the darkness. You like jungle these camps. Only show up in the lane when you can, and then like when you see someone show up, use your Shadow Blade and you get a kill. That's it. And even if you die and you get a kill, like you're creating space. Like that's giving your dumbass Shadow Fiend time to mindlessly hit creeps because they have to respond to a Doom, making their fucking whole jungle and their safe lane just scary as hell. And they'll have to rotate people to do that. So even if you like kill, let's say, the Magnus, and then you die to the Anti-Mage or something. Like, that's still a good trade, because you brought two of their cores, and then probably some of their supports there, to screw with you. And that's enormous space being created for your team, and that's like a really good value to have. And you're making their ideal safe farm, which is this area, they shouldn't really be scared farming. You're making that scary for them to farm. So you're taking farm from them, and you're giving more farm to your team, and you're stealing farm from them, because you should be jungling these camps. And when you get a kill with your Doom, you farm shit, and then you walk back to base, you regen, time like you're farming, so that when you get back to base, your Doom's almost off cooldown, and then you heal up, and then you TP wherever you want to go, where you think you're gonna be able to get another kill, and you just keep doing that. And it's so easy. It's like mind-numbingly simple way to play, and it's so incredibly effective. It requires like some level of game sense before you have Boots of Travel. Like I only rush Boots of Travel against someone like an Anti-Mage or like a Tinker, people who want to split push and are really hard to catch. Just because if you're using TPs, one, TPs cost money, Boots of Travel don't. It makes it harder because you have to travel to, like let's say I see the Anti-Mage pushing here and I have a creep wave here. I can TP to this thing and maybe he blinks away, maybe he doesn't, maybe I catch him regardless. Or I can TP to the creep wave here when he's over here. I'm that much closer, and he's not gonna. If he sees me up here on the mini map or something, and I just dip into a tree line real quick, TP to my creep wave here, and then Shadow Blade and run towards him, I'll probably catch him. If I come in over here, I might not catch him just because if I'm that Anti-Mage, what I'll be thinking is, okay, I just saw the Doom here. If he can TP to here, I have probably like 5 or 8 seconds to push this. But if you TP here, he only has 2 seconds till you're on top of him. That's a huge difference, because if I'm this Anti-Mage, what I'm going to do, I'm going to farm this wave here, Manta push that, probably blink to this camp, and then blink to here, and like wait to see the Doom again. If I don't see the Doom, then I'm going to work my way over to here, and just start trying to split the other side of the map. And just try and avoid the Doom, because you have to try and stay one step ahead, and with the TPs, Boots of Travel also have like half the cooldown almost. It's 45 seconds versus 70. I think it's 70. It's either 70 or 75. I think it's 70. You don't have a TP, no TP, there's TP. 70 seconds. Okay, it's 45 versus 70 seconds for the cooldown. So you can keep following around. You can keep trying. Yeah, maybe let's even say we Boots of Travel here. The AM kind of feels it. He just sends Manta Illusions, or just runs away and like comes up to here and farms this and then just leaves. Shit, I missed the gank. And what did it cost me? Some Boots of Travel cooldown. I can farm this lane, and I'll try again in 45 seconds. Because he has to go somewhere. Eventually he's going to have to show a lane. He can't just sit and farm the woods, or he's not helping his team. If you scare an Anti-Mage where he's just farming the woods and it's kind of more difficult to find him, cool. You just made this Anti-Mage isn't split pushing, which is his primary purpose past like the 20-minute mark. And then like each time he shows in lane, you try and go for the kill. Like if you the times you find it are what matter. It doesn't matter. Like if you miss it, you can miss it, you know, 3 times, and you hit on the fourth, and sweet, the AM's dead for 60, 70 seconds. Let's go Roshan. Let's go take some towers. Let's push the racks and force a buyback. Or if he doesn't have buyback, then we take a racks. Like, what is their team fight without this fucking anti-mage? They have some magical damage. Like you can interrupt this guy's ult. You can interrupt her ult. You just have to kind of avoid the lich bounces. They don't really have a great team fight without the, or sorry, they don't have any physical damage without the anti-mage. I shouldn't say that. Like their team fight's still pretty good, but without the AI, they don't have any physical damage. Yeah, so that's how you want to play against split push heroes. And there's nothing wrong with getting. And I just want to say this because I don't want you to make like this next logical conclusion of, oh well, if I need quick travels against an anti-mage or like a tinker or something, then I should just skip phase and skip tranks. Like no, those give you a huge amount of value during your laning and your early game, and that's why you're getting them. And even when you get the travels, you don't even need to get rid of those boots. So you can phase on top of boots of travel speed, and you can get 4 armor and the constant 100 and the plus 12 regen from the tranks from having tranks and travels. Like you can have the best of both worlds, and you eventually get rid of them, but there's no rush to get rid of your other boots. So yeah, like you definitely want the early game boots, but there's nothing wrong with then getting really quick boots to travel if it has a purpose. And in this game, it would have a purpose. But like we're even kind of getting ahead of ourselves because we just approached this completely wrong. But I don't mean to beat you up too much. I hope that helps out a lot. I'll send you. When I respond to this, I'll post a link to a game I played, which was against an AM Bane lane. I feel like there was a third hero, but I don't remember offhand what it was. And we managed to win the lane, but the AM still ends up getting some farm. They end up even with us with a Tinker and an AM against like a really early game lineup with like a Slardar and a Quap and a Doom or something. Like that's not a late game lineup. You wouldn't think of that as late game fear or being scared to go late game. But since I did good and I knew how to play, I was able to. I was never actually scared of the late game because I knew the late game was always going to result in me picking off an anti-mage or me picking off a Tinker, and even if I don't hit it every time, I'll eventually hit those kills. And when I hit those kills, that's when we can go for objectives. But yeah, like my team, then the Tinker and the AM ended up. The teams were of equal net worth at like 25, 28 minutes or something. And when you see that, like, if I'm a Tinker and an AM, and I make it to, like, the 25, 30-minute mark, and I haven't lost, like, all my towers, and, like, all map control is gone, and we're even, like, I'm happy. I feel like I'm in good shape. But because of how that game went, and because I was a Doom, and just because I was a Doom, and the pressure I'm able to, like, put on those heroes by having early boots of travel, there was nothing they could do, and they lost the game. I don't mean that as a brag. I'm just trying to, like, explain why you do certain things, and, like, how to like know if a game is still in the bag, or how to know like when you should feel threatened and when you should just be kind of fine with stuff. Like against this, like I don't care that they have a mag and late game because as a Doom I should be able to pick off the anti-mage when I want. And because if you pick them off once, like one counter to Doom is having a buyback, and if you only care about dooming the anti-mage and having a refresher negates his buyback, and then if you don't have a refresher or you care about another hero, then you pick off the anti-mage, or you pick off someone, you force them to buy back by pushing an objective, and then you have 7 minutes to pick them off again, and they can't buy back that time. And it's not hard with a 45-second cooldown boots of travel to pick off a goddamn split push hero. It's pretty easy. But so I hope this helps. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave it. If you have any other games you want me to look at, feel free to send them on over. Alright, best luck in future Doom games, and any feedback appreciated.